Hello people, and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines Modular Builds. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Last episode's Modular Build, we looked at a cute little metro plaza, which you guys really enjoyed. We kind of laid out the template here, and then went and looked at the desert city to kind of see how it functions in a real working city. And we're going to do something similar today as well. So with Sunset Harbour, we received a new transport hub of the Intercity Bus Hub, and I wanted to find something to focus around this particular building today because it's a really nice looking building. It's a great looking asset, and I feel like it deserves kind of its own little song and dance, you know. So that's what we're going to do. So when you're kind of placing this building, obviously the DLCs you'll need are Sunset Harbour, but you know, you would have seen what you need within the kind of opening title. So yeah, first thing we're going to place is our 4-lane with bus roads, and where you kind of want to place this within your city, you want to put it near a highway entrance, somewhere that is easily accessible for the inner city buses to reach this thing. And again, when we jump into the desert city to see this thing working, I'll show you how I've done that as well. So this 4-lane bus road is going to come out by a distance of 1980, which is 34 tiles, 33? Yeah, 33 tiles. There we go. So you've got a nice big long stretch of main road like this. And if you wanted to, you could also make this the 6 lanes with bus lanes. It's really kind of up to you. The bus lanes don't work too great within City Skylines right now. It kind of depends, you know, if they need to turn, then they won't really use them. But you know, it's a nice little aesthetic touch to this particular build anyway. Then we're going to come ahead and grab our 4-lane roads, and we're going to come out by a distance of 600, which is 10 on either side of this thing right here. So you want to place these on the angle or on the side of the road that you want the bus hub to sit. Then once that's done, we're going to come into our small roads, and we're going to grab just a regular old 2-lane road, and we're going to come out by a distance of 240 on either side of these things. So something looks like that. And then the same again, but this side we're moving up, and then we're gonna just match up, just make sure that your road guidelines are on, and then you'll snap in to something that looks a little bit like that. And then we're just gonna hook these 2 points together. So from your bird's eye view, you'll have something that looks a little bit like that right now. Then we're gonna come ahead and grab our 2-lane one-way road with grass. Sorry, my mistake. These should be one-ways. Make sure that they're one-way roads. Then we're going to grab our 2-lane one-way road with grass, and then we're going to draw these 2 points together just like that. And the reason that we're changing to the grass road here is to generate these pedestrian crossings on either side, just like that, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab our transport hub, which is the one we're going to be using today, is the Intercity Bus Hub. Alright, and then we're going to place that just at the tip of these 2 roads right here. So you're going to be having something that looks a little bit like that right now. And then really, that is kind of the main bulk of your build done. This is a really short and snappy modular build. This is a really good opportunity to use some of your unique plazas that you'll have unlocked kind of as you play. There's a couple of different ones as well. Let's have a little look here. You can go through, you can squeeze the official park in here if you wanted to. We'll just kind of place a few of these down so you can see how they look like. I'm pretty sure that's it for the parks in this area, isn't it? Yeah, okay, let's jump into... So there's the kind of the Statue of Wealth, which is a little bit big. The Lazarette Plaza works really nicely. This is the one that I went with. Statue of Shopping will also fit in this gap right here as well. So you can kind of mess about with a couple of different plazas. This is a great opportunity, like I said, to get some of these things in. If you're not really sure where to use them, then feel free to, you know, pick and choose whichever one you want, and then you can just kind of have this thing in. And then amongst all these little spaces that you have left here, you can mix and match a whole different bunch of zonings. Depending whether or not, if you're placing this in high density, then obviously, you know, adjust your zonings from office to high density and low density accordingly. But within these kind of corners, you've got lots of nice even spacing to get some stuff in. You could even go for like ones right up against the bus station here. You've got some nice big corner spaces to fill out. You can really just kind of use this as an opportunity to mix and match those zonings that you've got kind of around this part of the map. And then we're going to put in some pathways, of course. We're going to make our cities more walkable. I'm going to use the elevated zoo paths, of course. What else? So join from this point right here. So on the edge of this zoning, you can place it here if you like. Again, this part of the build is really up to you, but the elevated zoo paths work really nicely here, as they do everywhere else in the map. So we're going to draw out back to the road, and then we're going to come up by 3 steps on our lowest incline. So we're going to make sure that we're at our lowest point here using the elevation step. Then we're going to grab the road again, come across, and we came out by a distance of 4 tiles, so we can make sure that we're symmetrically perfect. Come and snap into this grid right here, come out by 4, and then up by 3, and then you can have a nice little symmetrical bridge that comes up and down. The slope isn't too steep. Sometimes the slopes can look a little bit unrealistic, but it's really kind of up to you how much you care about that. We can do the same on this side again here as well. And then there we go. And then you're going to have this kind of nice central plaza, which has these 2 bridges flowing over it, which is going to look really great. And then we can also link some paths along the ground as well, so people can cut through from one side or the other without having to use the bridges and vice versa. And then you can maybe squeeze one through the middle here as well. Just kind of decorate with paths as you want to, but really that is kind of it for this modular build. So what we'll do is we'll jump into the desert city, and you can we'll have a look at the numbers, we'll have a look how many buses this thing accepts every week, how many passengers are coming through it, and how this kind of functions when you place this particular modular build within kind of a suburb and near a highway entrance. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that now. Okay guys, so we're hanging out over in the desert city right now, and you can kind of see those themes that we've just worked on in the modular buildville. You've got these paths running overhead. We can see the kind of same road layout that we used, although we changed this one into a 4-lane. And yeah, let's just kind of have a little look at how everything's flowing. So in terms of bus lanes, I've got 6 individual bus lanes that are flowing in and out of this thing. You can see that the one-way system here that we put in keeps everyone flowing in the right direction, and then the buses kind of head off to distribute their own passengers around. Got 545 through this thing in a week. I've seen it go up towards kind of 700-800 at one point. Obviously, kind of the longer your game's running, and people will come in and use this thing. So in terms of how I've placed this, this is our desert map that we've been building on live streams, and you can see we used our how to start your city video, start to the city here, with the bridge over the roundabout. So this thing is placed just kind of off the left exit of the roundabout, or what would be, I guess, the second exit, and then the bus hub is right here. So it's kind of strategically placed so the inner city buses that come off the highway will come straight into this thing right here. Because obviously, they're going to need the access into the bus hub because they're coming straight off the highway. And yeah, it's a really nice modular build. So we kind of added in some more zonings here. You can see how they work together. We've got some, let's have a little look, some low density commercial, a little bit of office space, some more low density stuff over here, more office space, and low density commercials. I carried on surrounding my Lazarette Plaza with some more of the zoo paths, and yeah, it just worked out really nicely. This was a nice little experiment, and yeah, got some people using the paths over here to cross over, which adds a nice different layer of height into the build, because it's all kind of very flat. And yeah, so feel free to kind of choose the unique plaza that you use in this thing. It's really kind of up to you as to which one you prefer. Lazarette Plaza works really nicely, but I think it's the official park would also work really nicely in here as well. Or you can just use regular park assets. It is kind of entirely up to you. So what we'll do is we'll jump into a little cinematic pan of this thing, and you can kind of see how people are flowing around it, and we'll move through the day-night cycle because this thing looks awesome at night time, with all these little elevated paths and the plazas and this thing all lit up. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, a like below is very much appreciated. Sorry this one was so short, but I really wanted to show off a nice little way that you can use this new transport hub that arrives with Sunset Harbour. Yeah, and if you didn't like it, please feel free to leave a dislike as well, and let me know why down in the comments. And if you've also found a nice way to use this bus transport hub, then please feel free to share it in the Discord and on Twitter. I'd be kind of happy to see how you guys have managed to implement this into your cities so far. Well, thank you so much for watching, enjoy the rest of the outro, Taj, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.